We'll be testing out the software again as we've been recording more to do with our project, which I'm more than willing to talk about soon. But I will be talking about some news and live streams today, and generally just practicing talking on camera and chilling out, really. So hopefully you'll join us. I'm just going to test all the sound and everything on my stream by checking it on my phone, because that's how the pros do it. But yeah, so if you want to chill out, chat, relax, look at some stuff, we'll do it. Here we go. Quick check. Awesome. Okay, so sound's all on there. I wouldn't mind putting some music and something in the background, but I'll figure out how to do that tomorrow. So today I would like to talk about essentially trending news and views of the biggest news out there, anything that's interesting that's been going on recently. So let us do that now. I will throw up my second screen. I'll flip that around. Check out this new software. Isn't it snazzy? And let's zoom it in so that we can see. So I have been seeing this Amber Heard and Johnny Depp verdict, and apparently Amber Heard reportedly plans to appeal against Johnny Depp's defamation verdict. If anyone's been watching this at all, like keeping up on it, which honestly most of the world seem to have, I wouldn't say this is going to go well for her. She's also reportedly, wanting to obviously appeal against it, and I've heard rumors that she can't afford it. So the actor Amber Heard is reportedly planning to appeal for losing defamation trial against her former husband Johnny Depp over allegations of domestic abuse. Honestly, the biggest case in the world right now. I think that the only things that have been just as big as this is things like the George Floyd case, the Cal Rittenhouse case, and clearly now the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. A lot of, I never used to watch cases at all. My colleague and brother-in-law and friend, Cyberdwarf, who also comes on this channel occasionally, says that he's been watching like loads of them. Like there was that case in South Africa where an Olympian shot his wife and claimed that we thought it was an intruder, but no one believed him. But there you go. So that was he's been watching them since then, or before that. I personally haven't been watching them that long. I watched the Cal Rittenhouse one. I think I watched the George Floyd one, or some of it, and I've watched a lot of this one. But anyway, jurors in Virginia court ruled in favor of Depp's claim of defamation on the 3 counts, awarding the Pirates of the Caribbean actor 12 million, which was later reduced by the judge to 10.35 million. So essentially around 10 million. So good, definitely. I mean, I say good. I'm personally on Depp's side. When I first started watching this trial, I was very much in the sense of, try and go in it open-sided. Obviously, I've got a love of Johnny Depp. I've liked him ever since sort of Sleepy Hollow or Edward Scissorhands, like most people. We've seen all his movies. We really enjoy him. I was really looking forward to him being in Harry Potter and being, the Grindelwald, who's like OG Voldemort. He was like the original bad wizard before Voldemort sort of sprang to power. But either way, he got sort of kicked out of that. He got kicked out of Pirates of the Caribbean. And this was all due to Amber Heard essentially saying that, she put out a statement that didn't exactly say that it was him, but she was married to him at the time. It makes perfect sense that she was assuming it was him. And that's what this case has all been about. He lost loads of money for it. No one will hire him now because they think he's in domestic abuse. But he's won it. So, and there's been a massive rally behind Johnny Depp on this. The only person I've ever seen who's even mentioned that they're on Amber Heard's side was Anita Sarkeesian, who I'm personally not a big fan of. That's due to Gamergate. You can look into her and things like that. I won't go into that in this video. Maybe for a future video, we'll look at the history and evolution of gaming culture and whatnot, but not right now. But like I say, if you do want to put in any comments or views, I'm more than happy to throw them up on the screen and we'll talk about them. Continuing, Alafair Hall, Heard spokesman, said the Aquaman actor planned to appeal the decision, according to the New York Times. Heard had demanded 100 million in the countersuit against Depp. She went for 100 million. He sued for 50 million, bear in mind, and he clearly got 10. She went for 100 million. Fucking reach, man. Massive reach. in Depp, which she argued was defamed by his press agent, who described her allegations as an abuse hoax aimed at capitalizing on the Me Too movement. She succeeded on only one account and was awarded $2 million. Depp's lawyers convinced the jury that he did not assault Heard and that her allegations of domestic abuse in the Washington Post article defamed Depp and did so with malice or knowing that the claim was false. In a statement afterwards, which made no mention of the reported appeal, Heard expressed the disappointment. She said, "I'm even more disappointed with this verdict, with what this verdict means for women." Heard added, "It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when women who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously." The jury's unanimous decision ended a 7-week trial that featured dozens of witnesses, an expert weighing in on whether Depp was abusive to her during the 15-minute marriage. Wow, are we in Vegas here? No, as in when they're talking about the Me Too movement and that you're just meant to believe someone if they say something. I think you should absolutely take everyone seriously that says something, but they've got to bring. They've got to have evidence, and it does, even circumstantial evidence is better than just saying, "Oh, it happened," because there was that Brett Kavanaugh scenario where a lot of people, there was a woman that just said, "Oh, he did this in college," and there was literally no evidence at all that they were ever in the same room. Now, I'm more than willing to listen and hopefully support any of the horrific acts that can happen around the world, but it can't just be like out of the ether. Yeah, this happened. But there you go. I think the funniest part in this case for me personally, regardless of what side you're on, is when Amber Heard said, I pledged 7 million. I used pledged and donated synonymously. And I was just thinking, are you mad? Are you insane? Like, it's not the same thing. Like, I could say to, my best friend, "Oh, I pledged to get you a Ferrari." It's just as good, mate. What are you on about? I've got you a Ferrari pretty much. I pledged I would. What are you talking about? And she never did. She never gave this 7 million that apparently she pledged. And it was all shenanigans. But we'll continue a little bit more before moving on to how the people have received this, which I've loaded up Twitter for, just to get some other people's views on it so that you're not just reflecting on my own. Lisa Bloom, a high-profile US lawyer who represented women whose sexual harassment claims led to the dismissal of the Fox News anchor Bill O'Reilly, predicted the Herb Depp case would be decided on appeal. Speaking to BBC Two's Newsnight, she said, "I want to emphasize that this is not the end because most defamation cases are really decided on appeal." I've got to make sure I get my words right. This is me practicing to talk, but I'm also going to be sipping my tea. What do you want? I'm British. I've got to have a tea when I'm knocking around. I say like I'm knocking around. It's like 7 minutes to like 1, and I just thought, well, I'll throw up a live stream. Practice. I've got to practice talking at the camera, and I keep looking at my software because this is new software for me. So there you go. Apparently I can throw up a chat overlay. So if you guys are interested, talking, chilling, hanging out, I'd be really grateful on that, because it's always better to have someone to bounce back on. But in the meantime, she added, "I have handled a number of defamation cases, including representing Janice Dickinson against Bill Cosby, when we had to argue 2 appeals in that case, both of which were successful." I mean, I could go on with this article. I won't read the whole thing, but I'm mainly reading this, like I say, to practice speaking. But I think most people had their mind made up after a few witnesses got on and a few lies were clearly caught out against Amber Heard. Johnny Depp seemed to be very, very relaxed and reasonable and rational, even cracking a joke or two that made a lot of people laugh, like a mega pint. That was a cracking one. I won't forget that one for a while. Mine's a mega pint. But yeah, so that is essentially that. And let's see what these people have been speaking about. So these are just random people that I brought up on Twitter, and most people, like I say, Depp versus Heard makes no sense. Majority of people supported Depp do not think the majority of people supporting Depp do not think he's an angel, but the mere fact that she went so hard with these ridiculous allegations and she acted like she was an angel, that's the reason people are going so hard for him. I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Women, do not let Amber Heard and her stance convince you that this verdict is a setback for women. Feminism is about equality, not superiority or dominance of another gender. If anything, this helped prove men can be victims of domestic violence too. This should be her silver lining. See, like, I agree with that as well. I mean, I don't really know about I think feminism has morphed possibly into something else, but this is old school feminism. Like, feminism, I'm more than happy to support feminism about equality, absolutely. But there is a lot of superiority or, sort of just believe us because we're women sort of scenario, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But yeah, so I like you say, most people seem to be agreeing. If I'm going down here, I'm just trying to find one that's maybe for Amber Heard. Nada, not a sausage. The jury does not believe Amber Heard at all. He has won counts on all three. Yeah, he has. I don't know what else they want to say about it, really. This will be the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. Johnny won, shades. I did see a funny clip earlier. It was like a TikTok or something where it was the clip of that bit in Pirates of the Caribbean. It was Johnny Depp going, "This will be the day," and it was Amber Heard's sort of face where she goes, "I stepped on a bee," or "My dog stepped on a bee," and she goes, whatever that face is that she does. I'll never understand why she pulls that face. So there you go, guys. That's the first topic of the evening. If you've got anything to say on that, we will feel free to throw it up and we'll carry on talking about it. In the meantime, I'm going to switch over to the next topic of conversation, which is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Now, these are just some footage of just the Queen. I mean, this is really old footage. You can tell by the blurry ass camera that's going on. But yeah, Queen's Platinum Jubilee has been going recently, and there's been, well, they've been the red arrows have been flying. They used to fly outside my house when I used to live in Lincolnshire. They used to fly a lot around there once upon a time, and they've done wonderful things. But the Queen is apparently not going to attend the Friday's Platinum Jubilee Thanksgiving service. A 4-day celebration is taking place across the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth countries, marking the 70 years of reign for Queen Elizabeth II. Now, I'm not a huge fan of monarchy, but I do believe that she should finish her term. Like, she should be, in my humble opinion, the last queen. She won't be, but still, as in, that's how I feel. But I do respect her. Like, as in, she seems to have not really set a foot wrong, or certainly not in the public eye, for her entire time. Like, she's obviously had to deal with scandals in the family, like Prince Andrew, and she's had to deal with loads of rubbish that's gone around, but it's never been about her, or certainly not that I can recall, unless you count the Princess Diana scenario. But again, there's no proof of anything that she was directly involved or anything like that. It's just suspicious circumstances and things like that. So yeah, I don't know if I want to get into that, but in the meantime, the UK is celebrating the Queen, seems to be having a good time of it. I haven't been following anything really to do with it. Like I say, I'm not too bothered about the royal family in general, but it's worth saying that, yeah, she has ruled for 70 years. A lot of people respect her. You can clearly see the crowds are massive. But I don't know. I don't know about this generation, man. Like, if as many people, like in my generation, certainly with the people that I know on Facebook and people like that, there's not that many who certainly show their love for the Queen. There's some that say, I mean, there's some people that really don't like her that I know, but I don't hate them. I just don't think we need it anymore. I mean, again, if you guys see this video in previously watched, or maybe you come across it on YouTube, because this is the first time I'm trying to stream it to my channel on YouTube, throw in a comment. I will reply to as many comments as I can. And knowing me at my very small status right now, particularly on YouTube, I've got a few followers on Twitch, that I'll reply to all of them, because I wouldn't mind building a little community and a little conversation, and I'll talk about all trending topics that goes on. And this is a trending topic right now because, hey, it's happening now. It's big in the UK, and also around the Commonwealth, places like Canada really love the Queen. Don't particularly know why, but they really do love her. So I don't really have much else to say about the Queen. Like I said, she's been ruling for 70 years. She's not really done much wrong that I can think of. And I don't really care for her, but I don't hate her either. Keep going, do your thing. Moving to the next point, and this is affecting everyone, including myself. Gas prices, gas, electric, and fuel right now is through the roof for probably everyone in America, certainly everyone in the UK. My personal gas has gone up a ridiculous amount, and apparently it's going to go up again in October, due to price caps and things like that. The housing market is meant to be slowing down soon, which is honestly about time. It's been artificially inflated for God knows how long. But yeah, so energy bills in Britain are set to surge from Friday after the country's energy regulator increased its price cap to a record-breaking 54%. Now, this article is from April the 1st, but it's taken till about now for a lot of the bills to come through, starting to really feel the punches. So although this article's a bit old, like a month or so, the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because this is when we're getting punched in the wallets. And certainly, like, if you go to a fuel station, when I started driving, the fuel was around 60 to 70p. Now that was approximately 15 years ago. So in 15 years, it's gone from 60, 70p to £1.70 or £2 for like super unleaded and things like that. It's just enormous. It's a massive. I mean, bear in mind that we do it by the litre in the UK. So if you're watching this in America or you're from America, I believe you do by the gallon. I don't know exactly how much that'd be for you, but for us, we're paying an awful lot, and we have smaller tanks, I believe, than you guys have in America, because obviously you've got a bigger country to drive around. You've got wider roads. You should see some of our roads in Britain; they're tiny, especially in the older, towns like York or Norwich or whatnot. But the number of English households in fuel poverty will double to 5 million from April the 1st, new research warned. Under the new price cap, millions of households could see their energy bills rise by around £700 a year. Now, I can certainly believe that. I can certainly believe that a lot of people are going to struggle. I mean, anyone that might be on, single people particularly that are on a sort of single person income in a family, and if you're just working your average Joe job, you'll be earning, I don't know, between £1,000 and 1,500. Now, if you've got to pay £600 for rent, £100, £150 for council tax, add in your phone bill, your electric bill, your gas bill, your water bill, your fuel bill, your Netflix. Some people have, for example, a car on a lease, which is another £250. And then you've got to feed either you and your child or you and your two children for, I don't know how you're going to do it. I really don't know how you're going to do it. You're going to have to scrimp and scrape for what you got. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to live with someone, even if it's a friend or your wife or your husband, that'll help. But you won't be living a lavish life of luxury, which is kind of the part I'm in. I figured that I'd start doing YouTubing and Twitching again, because I used to do it a while ago, but I've decided it would probably be a cheaper hobby. We have a lot of the stuff from when we first tried it hanging around, and hey, if we don't go out and we're just making videos and talking to people online, we can develop a nice little community, chill out, hang out with people. I think that'd be quite fun. And not just about playing games. We can talk about any subjects that we want to talk about. I'm just like rattling through these subjects right now simply because when it's just you talking, there's only so much I can personally say about them, but I don't mind going off on a tangent. If people wanted to mention something about their personal experiences, that'd be great. Actually, I'd love to go into that. So before Friday, the price cap meant the average household's annual energy bill was between 1,277, which is obviously this in dollars, and £1,370. Under the new price cap, their household energy bills are set to rise about £700 a year. So you're going from essentially 1,300 to £2,000, for your yearly bill. That's a massive loss of disposable income. So I've personally been thinking of cancelling my Netflix. I don't really watch it that much. I can't think of anything that I really care about it on it anymore. The only reason that I've still got it is because a lot of my family use it. I remember when they tried to stop that, or they said that they might be stopping that. Honestly, if they stopped that, it'd give me a reason to cancel. It'd be doing me a favor. If they started to crack down on people sharing their their Netflix accounts, that would give me the best excuse to go, well, I don't watch it. You guys can't use it. You better get your own. axe it. I've been watching The Boys on Amazon recently. That's a pretty good show. I know the new series is coming out in this month, actually, I believe. So we'll see how that pans out. The UK has been hit particularly hard by the wholesale gas price surge due to the heavy reliance on gas as an energy source. And the issue has heavily contributed to the country's worst cost of living crisis in decades. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And apparently, here we go. British Finance Minister Rishi Sunak announced in February that all residential electricity customers would receive a £200 discount on their electricity bills from October, which would later be repaid in £40 instalments over 5 years. So what the government's planned to do this, and I've actually got it. We don't get a choice in this. It just happens. I think I got like £150 just thrown into my account. I was like, what the hell's this from? And what they're planning on doing is just giving you a bit of extra money now, and then you're meant to put that into your, bills or whatever, and then they're just going to take more tax from you later. And I'd rather they didn't do that. I wish there was an opt out or something like that, but it has just happened, and apparently it's going to happen again, later on this year. And I don't want it. I'd rather not owe more tax later. It's just very frustrating when you're trying to keep an eye on your finances and everything like that. It really throws you off when people start messing with you and sort of giving you an auto loan. But there you go. So the potential impacts of the Ukraine war. So the war in Ukraine and the Western sanctions package that has been imposed in response has already created volatility in energy markets and could threaten more prices and supply instability in the future. See, the problem was Russia supplies a lot of gas. I mean, we don't actually have a lot of Russia's, gas. We had I think it was around 10% or something like that. But Germany had I can't remember what the exact percentage was, but I'm sure it was like 70, 80, 90% of their sort of gas came from Putin. And I remember, I think it was Donald Trump said something like, oh yeah, you don't want to do that. And they were just like, shut up. Because at the time he was, leaving the Paris Accords and things like that. And they just didn't want to listen to him. And I guess he was right in this regard. He's literally spoke the future. Putin can now say, well, if you do anything about this Ukraine war, I'm going to cut off your gas lines. And that would just kill Germany, particularly. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on. I think that I think all countries, it would be very clever to have at least be producing, through fracking or nuclear or however you want to go from it. I mean, obviously not fuel for nuclear, that's energy. But, through just energy in general, or petrol in general, it'd be good if you can find your own source. If you source it yourself, where there's not this sort of political international problems that can arise, that'd be very useful. And just so everyone knows, I am not an expert. I am an average JD. I'm just an average Joe. I'm just an average guy who's talking about this with average people, probably like yourself, who just want to talk about what's going on. Maybe voice their opinions, maybe let off a little steam. I'm that guy. Come talk to me about it. I'm more than happy to help you out, or at least talk to you about it. So maybe if you got it out, you could maybe clear your head, think of something you can do about it. I personally, I'm just going to not go out as much, get a hobby where I don't have to spend loads of money and just chill and talk to people. That's a good idea. In the meantime, I've still got to, send my daughter to karate lessons and whatnot, and they're going to cost money. But that's what it is, isn't it? You got to, what's it called? Take responsibility, take it on the chin. Apparently, I've heard that this crisis is going to last at least a year, maybe 2. So we've essentially just got to, tighten up your belt and all that jazz. Try and relax and crack on with it. And maybe in a year's time, we'll be a little bit better for it. What me and me and my friend have actually been doing is checking out the crypto market. When Luna crashed, if anyone's heard of this, a very big coin, probably like the 3rd or 4th biggest, crashed to like really, really low money. So I threw a bit of money in it when it was low. I didn't own any beforehand because people lost like thousands. It was really bad for a lot of people. But me personally, I threw it in when it was low, and it's gone up a little bit to what to what it was on. I've got money out of that. So you never know. There's opportunities around. You just need to know where to look and take a risk if you've, but never ever, with the crypto market, never put more money in than you're willing to lose. It's a gamble. Like I just threw in a bit, and if I lost it, I lost it because I didn't really know what I was doing. But maybe people will learn what they're doing sooner or later, and that'd be cool. But let's move on. So, with Russian President Vladimir Putin locking horns with European leaders after demanding payments for Russian gas be made in rubles. I forgot he did that. Some energy analysts have warned that European countries, including the UK, could be forced to resort to rationing supplies of natural gas and diesel if Russia decides to shut off its supplies to the continent. So, yeah, Russia basically because they tried to take on Ukraine. I don't know how true this is. This has just been what's on the media in England anyway. Apparently, Russia's expected to take Ukraine quicker than they actually did. Well, I say did, they haven't done it yet, but as in, I think they thought that it wouldn't take too long. It's taken a long time, and it's costing them a lot of money. And it is, and obviously with a lot of backlash for what they're doing in Ukraine. McDonald's has now pulled out of Russia permanently. Netflix has said that they're not, going to stream to Russia at all. There's a lot of sort of, we're not doing anything for Russia now, with companies. So the price of the ruble has plummeted. The ruble drag race. No, but with the whatever it is, the Russian money has fallen. So Vladimir Putin, I guess, as you would as a leader, has basically said, you have to pay me in rubles because that's going to drive the penny back up, I assume, and make them at least a little bit more money. And if they don't, he's possibly going to shut off the gas supplies to the continent. If that happens, like I said, particularly Germany, but others as well, are going to be screwed. So they might just have to pucker up and take it, I guess. That's the only way I think I can describe it. Putin issued a warning that in recent days that if unfriendly countries refuse to make payments in rubles by Friday, when is this? This is, oh, it's the April the 1st, isn't it? Yeah, I did mention that there. So I don't know, maybe I should check what's happening with this. Should we get a more past 24 hours? Let's throw this up. Go away. So Russia cuts off gas supply to Shell as millions of Britons feels Putin energy wrath. So let's have a look at this one, because this looks like an updated version of what's going on, and that way we can keep on top of things. Russia cuts off gas supply to Shell as millions of Britons to feel Putin's energy wrath. The energy crisis could set to worsen as Russia has cut off the supply to major customers, which includes UK-based Shell. For months now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has weaponized his monopoly on European energy supplies by threatening to shut off gas supplies to countries across him. So we were looking at about a month ago. This is now. So what is he doing about it? Months prior to the invasion of Ukraine, Putin squeezed gas supplies flowing to the EU to a contract minimum in a bid to boost the certification of the Nord Stream 2, which would further make the fuel-starved continent reliant on Russia. Now, the Kremlin has made good on its threats by cutting off energy supplies to Shell in Germany, as well as to Ørsted in Denmark. Last month, Russian state-backed gas behemoth Gazprom cut supplies to Netherlands, Poland, Bulgaria, and Finland. Which was the country that was friendly to Russia? There was one of them. It wasn't. I thought it was Bulgaria. Maybe it's not Bulgaria. I can't remember which one it was now. But there's one that has said, "Oh yeah, you're doing the right thing." But after they refused to bow down to Putin's demand to pay rubles, Shell, which is a major British company, is both a major producer of fossil fuels and trader, purchases gas from companies such as Gazprom to sell it on. After the invasion of Ukraine, Shell announced that it would gradually phase out Russian gas from its supply, but this latest move by Russia means that the British energy firm has been completely phased out. So Shell announced that it would gradually phase out Russian gas. So what do you think Putin's going to do? Oh, well, if you're not going to rely on me anymore, I better do it now before my threat is moot. It doesn't matter. So of course he's going to do that. I'm surprised they didn't realize that, or they probably did, but they probably just pocket up. We're not going to pay you in rubles, mate. So this is what they've done. It's surprising though, with the fact that and like I say, I know that Germany in particular is relying on it. But this latest move by Russia means the British energy firm has been completely phased out. Responding to Gazprom's statement, Shell said on Tuesday, Shell has not agreed to the new payment terms set out by Gazprom. We will work to continue supplying our customers in Europe through the diverse portfolio of gas supply. Shell continues to work on phased withdrawal from Russia's hydrocarbons in compliance with the applicable laws and regulations. So, it's not really an update. Well, I guess it is an update. Russia. What alternative does Europe have to Russian gas? So the US produces a bit. Qatar, Norway, Australia, Canada, Algeria, Nigeria. So, yeah. Main gas exporting countries in 2020 by type of export, billion cubic meters. 50 billion cubic meters. Jesus. I often forget how ridiculous it can be. But yeah, without going through the rest of it, so Putin's basically pulled the trigger. We'll have to see what happens, as they've clearly refused to pay him. And this is dated June the 1st, 2 days ago. I don't know. It's hitting people hard, man. It is hitting people hard. I mean, this is a Twitter thread where people are just trying to find the cheapest gas stations. And this person said that the cheapest they found is £1.50.9p. And that's actually pretty low. 150 isn't bad. Around me, it tends to be 162 to 170. But someone's even put that 176 is around. And that's nearly of reaching nearly 160 is past that. That was March the 10th, way past that. So, I mean, all these tweets are from like March. Is there any update on these? It's mad. Absolutely mad. I can't believe that petrol prices are so high. It's ridiculous. But they were my topics anyway, sort of economy. Again, it's not just petrol. It's, your gas, your electric. Water's stayed pretty reasonable for me. I don't know about everyone else. I wonder how the Americans are doing, because I know that they're really struggling. I don't know why they don't open the pipeline again, because Biden, I think, cut off the pipeline. I can't remember what it's called. Hang on. Was shut down. Keystone Pipeline. I'm surprised that they haven't wanted to reopen that. Why did they shut down the pipeline? Less than 2 years before the project was finally pulled, the Keystone Tar Sands pipeline was temporarily shut down after a spill in North Dakota of reportedly more than 378,000 gallons. Oh, that was October 2019. Why are all these in 2019? New. This is meant to be new news. Go away. Sometimes history goes backwards. I don't know what to think about the American politics side of things. I don't want to speak about things out of turn. But so there you go. I mean, I've been streaming for only half an hour. I wanted to talk longer than this. I wanted to practice. I wanted to train. But I'd have to bring up some more topics. And I've already spoke about some topics. Should we see what's trending on Twitter and talk about that? Just practice being confident with the camera, relaxed, and then I can do this show. Just for anyone that might be interested, we are going to be doing a show called Unleashed, and it's going to be awesome. We've already done an intro, which is really, really better than I could ever do. It's been done by Cyberdwarf, who's my brother-in-law, but also a friend, and he's really good at stuff like that. So he's been doing that, and I'll be presenting because I'm a gobby guy who's more than willing to talk on a camera, and hopefully talk to you guys at some point, maybe when this channel grows. If anyone does find this video, like, subscribe, come join me. We don't have to talk about just the things I've been talking about. We can talk about anything, anything from anything, gaming, relationship advice, makeup, whatever you want to talk about. I'll have an opinion on it because I'm that kind of guy. Maybe not a good opinion, maybe not an educated opinion, but an opinion nonetheless. So let's see what is trending. Yeah, go away. Is it Explore? I don't use Twitter very often. Better get used to it. So, state of play, harsh reality gnosis, beacon lighting, Street Fighter's trending. Oh, Resident Evil 4. We can talk about this. I love Resident Evil 4. It's a great game. Oh my god, it's the remake. It looks amazing. It looks sort of similar. It's a remake, though. But they made obviously Resident Evil 2 and 3 so well, like so well, that I'm actually so happy that they're making Resident Evil 4. Personally, I have heard people say, "Oh, why would you need to make Resident Evil 4? You know, it's still good," and it is still good. You can absolutely play Resident Evil 4, and it's perfectly reasonable. It's a perfectly good game. Graphics are still there. Gameplay is still pretty solid. But I think if we're being honest, the graphics are a little bit dated. They are perfectly functional, but just things like foliage and lighting and just things that you'd just get in a normal game. It's just not as good as it could be. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 down for that. Coming March 24, 2023. Oh my god. I thought it was coming sooner than that. I thought it'd be like middle to the end of the year. March 24, 2023. So it's a while away. So let's not get too excited about Resident Evil 4 just yet. Something else just to do with gaming that I did saw, because gaming is another hobby of mine, hence why I'm streaming to Twitch. But Spider-Man's coming to PC. Now, I've actually spoke about this friend called Dreg, who's on Twitter. I can't remember what his hashtag is, but Dreg, he'll probably be on this channel at some point. He really wanted to play that, so he'll definitely be getting the PC version of Spider-Man. I've got it on the PlayStation Pro, and it's good. I humbly was not as impressed as everyone else was at this game. I think it's fine, perfectly functional, reasonable, does the job, but in my head, it's nothing special. It didn't do anything extravagant that I would have liked it to. Probably mainly because it didn't have Venom in it, but they're probably saving that for a sequel, aren't they, really? I'm a big fan of Venom. I like Venom and Carnage. They're awesome. Although the second movie of that could have been better. It was fine, but could have been better. But yeah, so there are a lot of ports from PlayStation 2 PC. I've heard that they're not always great when they come over, when they first get released, but god damn, they get really good eventually, don't they? Like, as in, I've been playing Days Gone. Now, Days Gone itself, again, another perfectly serviceable, fine game. Not the best game I've ever played. I'd probably give it about 6 out of 10 so far, but I'm quite far through, and I've started encountering other zombies finally. So maybe soon it will become a 7 out of 10. But either way, graphically, gameplay, loading, everything about that game is absolutely perfect. It doesn't do anything wrong when it comes to functioning on a PC. What I want to see on the PC is Bloodborne. I would love Bloodborne. I did complete it on the PS4, but I was sort of led through it by a friend because I wasn't that good. But I would play it again. I would play it, I would stream it, I would hammer it, and I'd hope that everyone would enjoy that. But yeah, so please bring Bloodborne to PC. Would absolutely kill to see Bloodborne on PC. I do actually follow Bloodborne in general. EastEnders, do we want to talk about that? I don't mind talking about anything, but I don't know if anyone cares about EastEnders, Brings Up Talent, Miles Morales, Sony, Lulu. What the hell is Lulu? Lulu the pig. Pigs are highly intelligent species. Pigs are ace. I don't know anyone that actually dislikes pigs. I certainly don't know many people that dislike bacon. But either way, pigs in general, I actually really like. I think they're cool. But Lulu's a pig who saved her owner's life. What? Hold the phone. What? A pig saved a life? How? Pigs are highly intelligent species, more intelligent than dogs. True. When Lulu's owner had a heart attack, the animal realized something was wrong and disrupted traffic by stopping cars and shrieking to get the attention of passers-by. What? It just starts like being a wailing pig. Well, go on, Lulu. You good old pig. Well, there you go. And what's this? Faded celebrities that the BBC will roll out this week to support the despicable Windsor Mafia. Just going back to the Queen topic that we were talking about, didn't expect this. Someone's commented down here. Faded celebrities that the BBC will roll out this week to support the despicable Windsor Mafia by Bloody Desmond. Gary Barlow, Ken Barlow, Lulu. Why are they throwing the pig in there? How is a pig a faded celebrity? You don't have a go at a pig. Son of a bitch. That's just rude. Alan Titchmarsh, Sir Cliff. That's what I'll be Cliff Richard, won't it? Rudolph Hess, David Van Day from Dollar. I don't know. Honestly, I only know of Lulu. And I know, to be fair, I've heard of Alan Titchmarsh and Cliff Richard. I think I've heard of Gary Barlow. Don't know about Ken Barlow, but either way, I don't know the rest of them. So someone is just throwing that around for no reason. Let's see some of the trending topics, see what's going on in the world. And I can be Gondor. Where was Gondor when the Westfold fell? What? Why is it brought up the Tower of London? What a moment. The Tower of London Jubilee Beacon has been lit. One of 1,500 beacons across the country. We have beacons? Oh, like in the Lord of the Rings, where they light the beacons to call for aid. Call for aid! Yeah. Cool story, bro. Gondor calls for aid. Someone's actually put that. The beacon's it. Go on, Kate. The only good reason to light beacons is if you are Gondor and you're calling for aid. Everyone is saying that about beacons. Just think, though, the last time it was her 50th Jubilee or whatever, Lord of the Rings wouldn't have been out. I mean, the books would have been, just to clarify. But the movies aren't 30 years old yet, are they? Or 20 or 30 years old. Oh, are they 20 years old? God, I don't remember how old the Lord of the Rings movies are. Should we have a look? Lord of the Rings film series come out. It's not going to tell me, is it? Loud ass keyboard. No, it wasn't 2nd of December 2022. Don't lie to me. Oh, that's the Rings of Power. Oh my God, are you going to make me type it? The Fellowship. You know, if I had commenters right now, I'm sure one of them would have just told me. Put the fellow spaceship. Yeah. What the hell? Can you not just tell me when the Fellowship of the Thing? I'm mashing a couple of movies together now, aren't you? That'd have been a very different story if the ring monster was in the Lord of the Rings. Is it Gandalf? No, it's Frodo. 10th of December 2001. That sounds about right. God, that would have been 20. Is that 21 years ago? You've seen that meme where Tim Allen just grows really old through the Santa movie. Just happened right now. Just happened. Anywho, let's continue with our trending news. And I can just keep talking about random stuff until more people join. Come join. Come talk. Tell me what to search for. Tell me if you've seen anything bizarre, funny, a fail, a story. That'd be cool. Kirsty at Titan. Apple signs big lease that widens Tech Titan's Sunnydale expansion. Attack on Titan. Titans will never get air dodge back, my guy. It's part of the Warlock identity. Oh, that's Destiny. There's just loads of different things to do with Titan. Once I'm dead, I won't even be able to remember you. So I'll live no matter what. I don't know if that's sweet or stupid. The British trending. Oh, that's in sports, so that'll be about cricket, won't it? Boo. Yeah, sports, the British. Femi. What's Femi? Ugh, that guy. Wild gesture. Royal fans lay into Femi after throwing shade at Queen's Jubilee. Shade? Why do we accept these kind of people? Out in our country, he obviously isn't happy. So why doesn't he bugger off now, along with many others who are similar nature? He's telling anyone to bugger off. You know, if they're not hurting anyone, they can have their own views on whatever they like. Bloomberg crypto Terra Luna 2.0 tokens saw wild price swings past airdrop. I've got some Terra Luna 2.0 since I invested into it. Ultimately, there's not that much going on right now, is there? Digimon Survive in Spanish. El Mundo Digital Tiesta Esperado. I don't speak Spanish. But other than that, I might have to round off the stream at 45 minutes, although I would have liked to spoken longer. If anyone has any news, here we go, trending news. Let's have a quick look at this. Tulsa gunman targeted doctor he blamed for pain after surgery. Is that the shooting that happened in Texas? That was awful. Awful. Ukraine military reports fighting near Slavinsk as Russian forces continue to attack. Can you imagine if, like, Russian forces attack the UK? We've got a good military, but our general populace wouldn't have been as easily ralliable as I think the Ukrainians was. They literally said, right, if you're a female or a child, you're getting immigrated to a safe country. I know that UK have got a lot. I know that, you know, a lot of other countries have done a lot, which is good, you know, all in it together, so to speak. But the men were like, here's a gun, let's go. Do you think the people here would do that? But my freedoms. Yeah, freedom isn't free, I guess. Ukrainian military officials said on Thursday that fighting continues in part of the Luhansk and Donetsk regions as Russia forces attempt to take more of the area. Much of the fighting has been on the approach to the city of Slavinsk. Per CNN, meanwhile, the nearby town of Svyatihsk, I'm very sorry if I'm absolutely butchering that, and the Orthodox Church of Ukraine said 3 monks were killed. There's been a lot of war crimes reported. Now, the trouble is you don't know how true they are. I mean, I'm sure that there are war crimes going on. I'm sure, because it's war and war's messy. But they're bound to be sort of softened by Russia going, no, we're not. And they're bound to be exaggerated by Ukraine going, they are, come help us. You know, I guess it's the old sort of playground theory. If the big kid's trying to beat up the little kid might go, oh yeah, he proper like kicked me and everything, when he might have just pushed him over at the time. But I don't know. I'm just making an analogy. But no, it's terrible. And we should certainly do everything we can to help. The trouble is it's such a delicate situation. Like, I know that President Biden of America said that he didn't want to send Ukraine long-range missiles. Now, I don't know jack about Jack, but that sounds logical to me, because he wants them to defend themselves, but not aggravate Russia even more by starting to shoot them in their cities. Apparently, a lot of the Russian soldiers don't really care what they're doing. They're doing it so they don't have to go to jail. You know, so maybe the people in Russia are just doing as they're told. They don't exactly have the most fairest political discourse, do they? They're certainly not, from what I've heard. A Belgian shepherd that was abandoned by Russian special forces has switched sides and is now working with Ukrainian soldiers on the front lines of the war in Ukraine. Okay. Special forces dog abandoned by Russians joins Ukraine. Oh, it's a dog. Oh, a Belgian shepherd. A German shepherd. We call them German shepherds in the UK. I don't know what you guys call them. But clearly they call them Belgian shepherds, and that's a dog. I was thinking it was like see, I'm a big Half-Life fan, and the military guy in Half-Life is called Shepard. And I was like, is this a military guy that's been like abandoned by I thought, oh, did they abandon him because he was Belgian? But no, it's a dog. Fair enough. Well, you know, it's clearly good for them, good for the dog. Around 50 embassies has resumed work in Kiev, President Zelensky has said. 50 embassies are still working in a war country. I don't know how bad it is there. Where is Kiev on the map of Ukraine? Hang on, Google Earth it. Have a quick gander. Let's hide that. Turn it to satellite. Kiev. Boom. The Kiev is. I don't know, where are the lines? Oh, there we go. So yeah, so it is actually quite close to Russia as well. Well, I say it's quite close. I'm sure that this. See, I don't know what the ground is like here. It's probably like hilly or something. Yeah, so there's Kiev anyway. I know that they're coming from sort of this way because apparently this side of Ukraine was actually quite pro-Russia, and that's why Putin thought he could get away with a lot of stuff. Whatever it is. Saudi Arabia and other OPECs have agreed to increase production amid Western sanctions on Russian oil following invasion on Ukraine. Okay, I don't really have anything to say about that. It's been weeks since Ukraine began to ask for heavy Western weaponry as part of an effort to turn the tide on the Russian invasion. But in late May, the US approved the transfer of M142 HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems to Ukraine. Yeah. So can you imagine doing that? I mean, that is mad. How Western heavy weapons can make a difference in the war in Ukraine. I mean, if you look at that picture, imagine being those dudes with that gun. Imagine how loud that is. Boom. Just be mental. Artillery sweat saves infantry blood. The Ukraine military has this saying for a reason. I bet they do. Still, can't imagine it. Obviously, our generation has never been near a war. Personally, I was born in the late 80s, 87 specifically. So we've never had to deal with anything like that. There's been wars, but nothing that's even touched our shores remotely. Not that's anything that's really threatened to touch our shores remotely. The only thing that we really get in the UK, because we're on an island, I think it's quite defensible. Especially we're meant to have. I don't know if we have or have had. We definitely have had a really good. I don't know how good our navy is now. I'm sure it's still reasonable, but if we really wanted to, if there was a proper war on, I can imagine it to be quite hard to get into Britain these days, if we really put our military to it. But that's quite isolationist. Most wars, certainly world wars and things, are fought all over, aren't they? The Ukraine power operator denies report it may turn off Russian-held nuclear plant. They turn off a nuclear plant? Oh. Is that meant to be... you mean turn it off unsafely and blow it up? What does it mean? Kiev, June the 2nd, Reuters, Ukraine state-run nuclear power operator whatever, on Thursday denied it might shut down a major atomic power plant that lies in Russian-occupied territory if Kiev loses control of operations at the site. So it's in Russian-occupied territory of Ukraine, and it's a key power supply for Ukraine. The Zaporizhzhia, I had a go. I failed miserably, but I had a go. Facility in southeast Ukraine is Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Russian troops have taken over the plant, but Ukraine specialists are still running it. Interfax cited a Ukrainian presidential aide as saying the plant could be shut down if Kiev lost all control. But in a statement, Enertogam said the plant cannot be turned off from a technical, security, economic, or political point of view. That's a very difficult but mature and safer way of viewing it. Like, regardless of what's going on around you, if you start messing with nuclear power plants, well, We all know Ukraine's what happened in Ukraine with the power plant in the 80s, don't we? In Pripyat, I think it was called. Ukraine's state-owned grid operator last week dismissed as physically impossible the suggestion by a Russian official that the plant would supply Russia with electricity. What? Oh, that's mad. That can't be real. Is he real? Damn, son. Images of May. So these are May images of... Hang on, I'll throw these up a little bit. Like, the reason why I was like, damn, is there's just these kids, look. I don't know if they're real or not. That's why I was like, is that real? But these are images from Ukraine in May, where everything is going down. Blowing up cars. Absolutely mad. So there's some horrifying images. I thought the kids were meant to be out of there. Yeah, that sucks. Can you imagine being that kid just playing and blood? Is that blood? Man. That's a powerful image, that one, isn't it? Hang on a sec. Oh, God, what have I done? Go away, Adobe. I don't want Adobe. Back beast. Apparently we're watching an advert. It has been decided. Adverts will happen, whether we like them or not. Okay, right, yeah, as in, it was a really powerful image then. Like that one. Where is it? That one. Imagine being like, when I was younger, I remember playing at parks and stuff. Didn't see half a black building destroyed behind me. That's weird. But that one is the powerful image that, like, if there was ever, I don't know, a musical or something in memory of what happened in Ukraine, so we can learn from it. That one's powerful. Coat hanger. Okay. Go team coat hanger. Oh, what? Oh, right. So we're actually going off to something else now. Oh, yeah, the elementary school in Texas. It's so bad. And then all the political stuff. Oh, baby formula. In America, I've heard that that's really hard to get a hold of. It's just weird. This is obviously all around the world. It's not just Ukraine now. That's a good picture. That's weird, isn't it? Oh, that's the black hole that we saw, apparently. It is an interesting... That's not a bad little... I quite like this video. Is that the China with mad lockdowns they're having right now? America. Is that Taylor Swift? My dog stepped on a bee. Tom Cruise from Top Gun. Apparently had a record-breaking weekend. Don't know who that is. Is that Nicki Minaj? Oh, The Crown. Oh my God, look at that. Is that a whale? Well, there you go. There was some pretty interesting images, actually. Quite enjoyed that. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll leave it there. It's been 59 minutes. I've probably got a lot of video that I can faff with, clip, check out, edit, and I've got used to talking on camera. If anyone sees this in past broadcasts, by all means, feel free to like and subscribe, follow, and comment. I will look at them. I will see them. I will respond to them, and maybe we can build a community here. Talk about everything that goes on in the world, from fun stuff to sad stuff, and we'll hang out. I've just been playing with this new software. Look, I can do that. Pop me full screen again. Go me. But other than that, thank you for watching. Have a good day, and maybe we'll see you in the YouTube channel.